Hi guys, it's Izia. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my top 10 unisex fragrances. I'm a huge fan of unisex perfumes, and I do get guys on here from time to time telling me that they want to see more unisex perfumes. I really want to talk about at some point colognes as well on my channel and just kind of like expand on that, but it's just like I don't buy colognes because what reason would I have to buy colognes? Like I don't wear colognes. So the only times you've ever seen me talk about colognes on my channel is just when I'm talking about like my husband's colognes or my dad's or my brother's. You know, those are the only things that I have really experience with. Now this video is called unisex perfumes. So none of these perfumes lean on either side. They are neither too feminine or too masculine. They are just right down the middle, which is what unisex means. I know a lot of women are very particular about their perfumes not smelling too masculine or cologne-like, and I totally get that. I personally am kind of a fan of that, to be honest, but I can confidently say none of these perfumes lean cologne or anything like that. They're just the type of fragrances that work on anybody, no matter what gender you are. A lot of these are on the fresher side, but there is a lot of like really sweet ones. I feel like there's this misconception that if a fragrance is too sweet, then it automatically leans feminine, and I don't think that that's the case because I've smelled a lot of colognes that are super sweet. It just depends, I guess, on the notes. So if you're also into unisex fragrances, or if you're a guy watching my channel and you're like, I want to see more unisex options, then this is the video for you. But even if you're a girl and you're a super girly girl and you don't like perfumes that are too like masculine, you don't like to smell that way, I think you could still find a lot of options in this video because these are just beautiful fragrances. So with all that being said, before we get into it, please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and turn your post notifications on, and let's get started. Let's get started with probably one of my all-time favorite fragrances that you guys hear me talk about here a lot. That is MAC Turquatic. I actually didn't know that this fragrance was actually labeled as unisex. I thought it was just a women's fragrance, but no, it's unisex. Oh my god, this fragrance does something to me every time I smell it. This is one of those smells that you just want to smell at all times. Literally, if I could have this scent as a room freshener, a car freshener, a lotion, I wish they made a lotion of this because that would be absolutely amazing. This scent is that good, okay? I love aromatic scents, and you're gonna find a lot of these scents are on the aromatic side, and this is just the best of all aromatic scents. This has a lot of citrus notes, but it's not too tart or sharp or sour. It's beautifully balanced by a ton of woody notes, which just give it that unisex vibe. It's fresh without being boring. It's super unique. There's actually depth to this one. It's not a fleeting scent that you're gonna spray on and it wears off in like 2 seconds. It actually lasts. If you're a fan of like wood sage and sea salt, that kind of fragrance vibe, this is gonna be great for you because it's kind of in that family. Not a dupe, definitely different, but within that family of fragrances. And it is called Turquatic, so it also has an aquatic vibe to it. If you're going on vacation, this is like that perfect scent to bring. It is super versatile. You could wear this to the beach or the pool and also out to dinner because it's so sexy, and freaking love it. Love it. And speaking of wood sage and sea salt, I also have that in this list, but I don't have wood sage and sea salt because for me, I smell that scent and that's what really got me into wood sage and sea salt, but it does not last. And for the price point, I could not justify buying it because even though I love the scent, it literally lasted on my skin not even an hour, and I'm just like, yeah, there's no way I'm about to pay 150 plus for this perfume and it lasts an hour. I have my little ways for making fragrances last, but no, I'm not paying that money for a non-existent perfume. And then I found out that Dossier had a dupe of it. This video is not sponsored, but you guys know I've been working long-term with Dossier and I've tried so many of their perfumes. This is one of my favorite, and I can wholeheartedly say it is 100% the same to Wood Sage and Sea Salt by Jo Malone. This is called Woody Sage. This one has fig tree, grapefruit, middle notes of marine notes, ambrette, and base notes of clary sage and amberwood. This reminds me a lot of MAC Turquatic, but I feel like MAC Turquatic is just more aquatic. This one still has a little bit of that saltiness and definitely reminds me of the beach. It reminds me of being at the beach during sunrise, and that saltiness is in the air. You can kind of smell the ocean water and it's just so beautiful. Kind of smells like that with a ton of woody notes, and it's very aromatic. MAC Turquatic to me has a little, like a touch more sweetness This one just kind of eliminates the sweetness. I know Finery has a perfume also that is a dupe for wood sage and sea salts. I forget what it is. I decluttered it on my collection because I had this, and this is so one and the same to wood sage and sea salts. I didn't want doubles, but that was another really great one if you, for whatever reason, can't get your hands on Dossier. If you do want to order it online though, I do have a code and it's Xenia10. So you can get this scent with a little bit of a discount, but I love it. And speaking of Jo Malone, a lot of Jo Malone scents are very poor performing scents, and I know that that's wildly known, but then there are some that actually do last, and for me this one right here actually lasts for forever, and that is Peony and Blush Suede. A lot of Jo Malone scents are labeled as unisex, and then there are others that are more feminine leaning. This scent right here is labeled as a fragrance for women, but I think this smells incredible on men because I've tested it on my husband. I made him wear it and it smells so good on him. It smells very clean, whereas on me I feel like the sweetness pulls out a little bit more, but on him it's like clean and suedey. This fragrance, although it has more feminine seeming kind of notes like apple, peony, and rose, which are very pink smelling kind of florals and very warm florals, I think that suede that's in the base kind of gives it that edge that really makes it work really well on masculine skin. It just works and I love it. Like I said, I've made my husband wear it and it smells amazing on him. A new absolute love of mine that I've actually talked a lot about on my channel, and I'm trying to not talk about it too much because I want to make a haul video of it, but then I'm like, I can't stop talking about it, especially in this unisex video. I have to include Flur's father figure. Judging by the name, you would think this would be like super masculine. It's not. This is very fresh, yes, but there's also a lot of sweetness in here. There's a fig note in here, which makes it so juicy and almost like it has this candy note, and there is also Madagascar vanilla. This fragrance is seriously one of the best scents that I've ever smelled. It's unlike anything that I really have in my collection. This is a compliment getter like nothing else. When I went on my cruise that I just went on recently, I brought this with me, and I also brought Molecular One, which I'm going to talk about next because that's also in this video, and I would layer them together. That combo, I don't think I've ever gotten so many compliments ever. My family was complimenting me, my husband, random people that I would walk by. It's crazy. Something about this is absolutely to die for, and it works on everyone because my husband actually put this on himself as well and he loved it, but he also loves it on me. And definitely if you're a girl, don't be put off by the father figure name because I know that makes it sound like this is super masculine. It's not. It's the perfect sort of just down the middle, neither or kind of fragrance. And then speaking of Molecular One, this is a new discovery for me as well, much like father figure, and this is such a one-of-a-kind fragrance that works on literally anybody. This little guy will adapt to everybody's skin differently, and it'll smell different on every skin chemistry because this only has one note, and that is ISOE Super, which is a molecular note that adapts to your skin chemistry and just does something different with everybody. It is absolutely amazing. The scent on its own of ISOE Super is very aromatic and very woody and almost maybe slightly citrus-like, but that does differ on each person, so it just ends up smelling so good. And when layered with other scents, ISOB Super is a booster note, so it will boost the scent of any fragrance that you put on top of it. And this is the perfect scent to own in everybody's collection because you can mix this with any perfume that you have and it works, and it just brings out the richness and deliciousness of any perfume that you have. It is to die for. But even on its own, it is absolutely amazing. It's very subtle when you first spray it out, and some people are even nose blind to this scent, but if you overspray this, you could not smell anything, and if you walk into the room, it will fill up a room. It's kind of just a little chameleon of a fragrance. It's super strange, but really, really unique, and I love it. And then speaking of ISOE Super, another fragrance that I love that has ISOE Super in it, and it's very unisex, is Another 13. I'm pretty sure the entire house of Le Labo is unisex. I know Santal 33 is another really, really popular one that is unisex. That one to me is a little bit more edgy. For me, that fragrance leans a lot more masculine, but I know it also smells amazing on women. It's just a little too earthy, too like dirty on me, and it doesn't really mesh that great with my skin chemistry. But Another 13, this is like Molecular One, but with a little bit more going on, because Molecule 1 literally only has ISOE Super and nothing else in it, whereas this one has ISOE Super and it also has a ton of woody notes and a ton of citrus notes. So there's a little bit more to smell and to work with this one. There's also fruits in here like apple and pear. I don't really smell those. All I'm getting here is just honestly kind of like an amplified version of Molecule 1. If anything, it's just like stronger. This is another scent that for me gets so many compliments. It's really just these type of fragrances that for whatever reason garner the most compliments. They may feel kind of not so much there. They're not like the craziest, most projecting fragrances ever, but they're crowd pleasing in a not boring kind of way. Like people will literally be caught off guard and ask you what you're wearing because they're so signature scent worthy and unique, but yet they're not going to bother anybody. That is what I love about unisex fragrances. They're just like the perfect scent that everybody kind of loves. I don't know if this is wildly known, but Baccarat Rouge is unisex. I know a lot of women wear this. It is such a highly sought after and bought fragrance. I'm pretty sure this is one of the most sold fragrances like on earth. It is so freaking popular. I know, like it hurts how popular this scent is, and I can smell how popular it is because the second I walk out of my house, if I'm literally going to the grocery store, I smell it. If I'm going to a restaurant, I smell it. If I'm going to the club, I smell it. It's everywhere, and that's what's kind of annoying about Baccarat. But then I feel like every time I smell it, I just fall in love with it because although it is super popular now, it is extremely unique. It really paved the way for a lot of fragrances. So many dupes came out after this, but nobody does it like the OG Baccarat, and I don't even know how to explain it. This is a really strange, unique kind of fragrance. It's literally impossible to describe, but it is unisex and it is very sweet leaning. Like I almost smell a candy vibe to this, but those woody sort of nuances in here, like amberwood, the ambergris, the cedar, it has resinous notes. Those kind of just, I don't know, make it work for everybody, but it also has saffron, it has jasmine. I have no idea where all that sugary sweetness comes out of this because the notes, when you look at them, are not really that sweet at all. They look very earthy notes and it just looks so edgy note-wise, but then you smell it and it's like soft and cloudy and is sugary. It makes no sense to me. I don't know, but ugh. Freaking love it. A super underrated fragrance that nobody really talks about is by the House of Skylar, and this one is called Pink Canyon. This is very similar to MAC's Turquatic, but it's also different. They're not completely the same. I feel like this is MAC Turquatic with more sort of like earthy notes. This has sage in it. It has those citrusy aromatic notes as well, but it also has salt and cedar in the notes, which I love. Cedar is one of my favorite woody notes, and in conjunction with the salt, this has that MAC Turquatic aquatic feel. But there's also really pretty florals in here like Lily of the Valley, Magnolia, Tiare Flower. That tiare flower definitely also gives another level of like aquaticness to this, but the woody vibe and just how aromatic it is, I absolutely love. And this is definitely in the family of wood, sage, and sea salt, MAC Turquatic. If you're into those citrusy, woody, aromatic scents, you would love Pink Canyon. I'm obsessed with this one. And then another one, I actually just found out that this is unisex because I totally thought that this was for women. This is by the House of Sisley and it's called Le Rêve d'Eliane. This is a stunning scent. This smells so expensive. It smells like old money. It smells so freaking good. It smells like a rich spa to me. There is citrus notes in here again. There's floral notes. There's a lot of jasmine, tuberosy, violet sort of vibes. And in the base you have ambrette, patchouli, and cedar. I feel like cedar is just like a common note that you're gonna find in a lot of unisex fragrances. And cedar just so happens to be one of my favorite notes ever. I just love the woody vibe that it gives fragrances. It's so good and like aromatic to me. This one is a little bit softer feeling than scents like MAC Turquatic, wood, sage, and sea salt, where it's a lot of woodiness and citruses. This one has more sweet vibes in it. It has that violet, which to me gives it a powdery feel. Like this almost has a musky baby powder sort of feel to it, which sounds really weird. And honestly, I know a lot of people are put off by baby powder. I'm not a huge fan of baby powder scents, but the way that it works with the cedar notes and the citrus notes, that violet that's in here, this is so It's so freaking pretty. I'm telling you, try this scent out. It smells like $1,000,000. It's so good. Speaking of sweet scents that don't have to be feminine, we have Commodities Milk. This entire line is unisex. They have, I think, 3 fragrances within the Milk line, which this is the personal. They have the expressive, and then they have the bold one. So they basically go in order of like intensity, so however strong that you want them to be, but the scents kind of remain the same. Now, my personal favorite is the personal one. The personal is supposed to be for me and the few I allow close. So pretty much the projection of this is supposed to be a little bit more closer to the skin. I personally even find the personal pretty strong. This is a scent that I could spray out, it still fills a room. It definitely stays close to the skin throughout the wear time, but it still projects a good amount. I do also have the expressive in my collection, which I do really love, but something about this personal, like the softness of it, is so addicting to me. The appeal of these fragrances is they are very, very creamy, lactonic scents, but they also have tons of woody notes in them and almost a toasty vibe. It makes it feel like you're gathered up by like a campfire on the beach. It's so toasty, like you're toasting marshmallows, and just those woody vibes definitely give it that unisex feel. And then it also has amber, which really rounds it out. It's amazing. You can smell the marshmallow, you can smell the milk, but you can definitely smell those cedar-like, just woodsy types of notes mixed with that amber and a little bit of musk. It definitely has this like sort of dark vibe to it that works so well no matter who you are. So I know this video is a top 10, but of course I have to have an honorable mention, and this one I had to include because a lot of Arab fragrances are actually unisex. In fact, I feel like 99% of Arab fragrances are unisex, but again, it's kind of that thing where I feel like some scents lean more feminine than others, some scents lean more masculine. This one right here I find to be right in the middle because of the strong oud note that it has. This is by Latafa. It's called Bade Al Oud, and it's the amethyst. I know that they have other fragrances. Let me just say, the packaging for these fragrances is absolutely just, I mean, the attention to detail is insane. It just looks like this would be like a $300+ fragrance, but it was literally like 25 bucks on Amazon. This has a ton of rose in it, but it also has a ton of oud. It's like spicy, rosy, but then that oud and amber and vanilla that it has works really, really well for either side. It very much has this purple vibe to it, and the packaging is purple. Now, I believe this is supposed to be a dupe for Initio's Atomic Rose, which is a niche and super high-end fragrance. I've never smelled that one, so I'm not really sure, but this smells absolutely amazing. It smells like $1 billion. It is so complex, so unique. I've tried a lot of Arab fragrances where the oud definitely dominates in a kind of too much kind of way, and in here the oud is perfectly mixed with the rosy notes, and then the sweet vibe of it just kind of makes it pretty, like refined and really, really pretty. It's definitely strong though, so be aware of that. A lot of Arab perfumes will pack a punch. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys liked my picks for my top unisex fragrances. I hope you found something in here, no matter who you are. I think really anybody can wear these fragrances. They are so, so beautiful. They're some of my favorite fragrances that are on this list and some of my most complimented of all time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments which are your favorite unisex fragrances. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and turn your post notifications on, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.